Hello again, everybody. This is CJ, your local friendly technology addict, and you're watching the Tech Addict's Attic. I recently updated my BV9500Pro, Bob, and I wanted to see if there were any major changes in it. Not really. One major change, actually, is that they've improved the compass. It works now, which it was not working before. If you remember, north was pointing about 90 degrees off of where it should have been, and the compass dial would sit there and slowly rotate clockwise. It no longer does either of those things. North points to north, and the dial does not rotate, so it's good. It does require recalibration rather frequently, or at least it did this afternoon, so I'm kind of, we'll see how that goes. But for the most part, it's working, and that was what I was hoping for. So we got the compass working. Unfortunately, we still have a problem with the intercom. Now, I think I've posted a video before where I show when I go into intercom, it fails to init. And I go into the app, and I show that it works, okay? And then I add a couple of channels into a new device area, and that's when it stops working. And when it stops working, if I have it on, I add the device area, and then I add a couple of channels, and I try to use those channels. It immediately tells me, hey, I can't init, please start again. But it takes me back to the channels, so I can remove that device area, I can remove the channels with it, and it continues to work. That has been the case. Well, with the new update, it lets me add the device area, it lets me add 2 channels, and it lets me initialize those channels. So I'm thinking all is good, right? Device init failed. Please start again. All right, so now I've got my new device area. I've got my 2 new channels, and I can't use them because I exited the app and came back in, and it won't initialize now. So there's still something going on. But the fact that it was able to initialize them in the first place before I exited the app originally tells me that it's not a hardware problem. It's something in the code. It's in the software. It's in the application. Or it's in the driver to the radio or something along those lines. It is not the hardware. It's not a fault with the hardware. So, unfortunately, the only thing I can do now is go into App Info, go into Storage, and clear data. I'll go down here, come on, and oh, well, it never did actually load up into the recent apps. So I'll go back into Intercom, area default, channel 1, little icon shows up in the corner, and it appears that it's going to work. I go into device area, and we're back to having all of these default areas, 99% of which I will never, ever, ever use. China, delete, yes. China, Taiwan, delete, yes. So we start this again. Now I've got to go back in, remove all of these that I'm never going to use. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to recreate a couple. Actually, you know what? I'm going to tell it to use that one, and then I'm going to get rid of default because I don't use default either. So I've got one in here, right? And if I go to channel, I have analog channels 1 through 22. Great. So it looks like they're all going to work. The only question is, why does my volume keep going to 0? I don't know. Let's edit the squelch on this and see what we can get out of that. So we may still have some problems here. Okay, now it's green. I should be able to turn the volume up. No volume, huh? Oh, you know what? I know what it is. I'm in Do Not Disturb mode. There we are. That's the problem. So, we have the radio. It functions. It's active. Come on, squelch 2. Thank you. So I'm going to go back to device. I'm going to go into device area. I'm going to add an area. We will call it test 1. We will add another area. We will call it test 2. We'll add another area. Come on. Edit. No, I don't want to edit. I want to add. So you can see that the screen is a little bit less sensitive than what it should be. That's largely because of the glass screen protector that I still have on here. Part of it's also because I'm looking at it from a weird angle, because I'm trying to get my head behind the LG that's recording this. So I'm not quite hitting it on the right spots. Alright, that's about what I had. I had amateur radio, I had receive only, I had satellites, I had random stuff, and then I think that's when I created a new one, and it quit working. I'm going to edit an area, I'm going to add a channel, test 1.1. Send frequency, 4111111111111. 41111111111. Okay, color code, I don't really care about that. We're going to contact type all. We're going to leave it digital. I don't care. I'm not going to use it. All right, now, test 2. We're going to edit. We're going to add. Come on. Test 2.1. We'll make this one analog. What the hey? Come on. 40000 and 40000. Squelch level 1, and okay, test 2.1 is made. You know what? Because this is analog, I'm going to make a test no squelch. Oh, I see that we still cannot add any more than about 12 characters, I think that was. That sucks. I hate that. Send 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Nope, 8. Receive 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And of course, I'm not actually going to transmit on any of these, so it doesn't matter that it's in a band that I'm not legally licensed to use. Edit 3, we will do test. We will do analog. We will do again. And we'll make that last one a 2. Squelch 0, I don't care. Test 4. Can't use it if I don't have anything in it yet. Test 4.1. We'll make this one analog as well. Test 5. We will edit. We will add. Okay, so we've got all these test areas built on top of the one that came with the phone. I'm going to tell it to use area 3. Oh, I hear static. Okay, so it must be working, right? We're going to use area 5. Okay, must be working. We're going to use area 2. Well, we don't have any squelch on the digital channel, or was that one digital? I don't remember. Nope, that one is analog, but we had squelch 1. Squelch 2, or channel 2 had squelch 0. Okay, so it's working, right? Let's see if it continues to work when I exit the app. Then we're going to kill the app. We're going to go back into the app. Okay, icon shows up, it's going to work. Now, we still have that issue where if you start out with the squelch 0, it will not open the squelch until you go to a different channel and come back. All right, let's go back into, well, we're going to get rid of this squelch first. We're going to go into the device area, and we're going to add another area. And into that area, we will add 2 channels. They will both be analog. Squelch 0. Come on. right, squelch 0. All right, let's see if we can use that. Very good. So we have intercom, we have channel 1, we have channel 2, both are on squelch 0. Device, exit app. I did not mean to double tap that, but we'll see what happens. I notice that there is no icon yet. No icon. It's going to fail. So you all watched me do it. I left one original area because it's the only one I would use that came with it. And then I created 6 more areas. So 6 areas. I added only a channel to each of the areas with the few exceptions of adding only 2 channels. It is not the sheer quantity of channels that has caused this problem. It also is not the sheer quantity of areas that has caused this problem, because I don't have as many areas in it now as came with it. Okay? Each of those areas that came with it, well, I have no choice. I got to go back in here into app info and clear it out again. And we'll look at it real quick. It'll initialize because we're on default and everything's, yep, we got the icon. We're good. But we're back to having all of these. Now, how many areas do we have? Let's count the ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 areas on here. I added 6 to the one that was already there, so that's 7 areas I had. This has 10 more areas, 3 more areas than what I had originally in mind. If we go into look at default, we have 1 through 16 channels on default. If we look at China, we have 1 through 20 analog channels on China. China, Taiwan, we have 14 analog channels on China, Taiwan. EU, we only have 8. USA FRS, we have 14. FRS GMRS, we have 22. Clearly, the problem is not the number of channels that I have. 40 in Australia. Only 8 for Russia. Come on, back out. Norway has 6. South Africa has 4. So, it is not the number of channels that I have in any one particular area. It is not the number of areas I have. It is not the number of channels I have overall. And I recently, and by recently I mean about a month and a half ago, had a conversation with a person at Blackview in email, and frankly I was getting rather irritated with this individual because it was like they were not listening to me. They kept saying, oh, you have to make sure that the transmit and receive frequency are the same. Okay, I did that. You see in this video, that test that I did, the transmit and receive frequency was the same on every single one of the channels that I made. So that is not the problem either. There is definitely an issue in the radio. And in this last test, you could see it even let me use that last area that I created. It initialized. It had audio come from the speaker because there was no squelch. It worked until I exited the app and reopened it. And I didn't even have to force close the app, just simply leaving the app and coming back to it. It attempted to reinitialize and it failed. So there's still a problem with the radio app. However, on the bright side, the radio app is different. There are a couple of things that I've noticed about it. If I go into information, we did not have DMR firmware version before. We did not have MCU firmware version before. And as I've noted in one of my previous videos, it doesn't really show up on the screen here, but there is a very subtle change in the background on that one line when I tap it. Same on MCU firmware version, okay? But if I go up here to software version, if I tap it 4 times quickly, PCM Test Mode is open. And I back out of here, and I go to Setting, and I see a PCM Test setting. The test.pcm file must be in the root of SD card. I don't know what that is. I'm not playing with it because I don't want to break my phone again. But 4 times in about a 1.5 to 2 second period, and it turns it on and off. And if I go back into setting, we'll notice that that setting is gone. So there is some new stuff here. Maybe that was in the thing before and I just never noticed it, but we do have the 2 new settings that were not there before, or not the settings, but 2 new lines of information that were not there before. So they've definitely been making changes. They've been making improvements, and I give kudos to Blackview for that. At least they're trying. At least they're making an effort, and I applaud that. I'm glad to see that is being done. However, this firmware is a month old now. I'm curious if they've made any more changes. So all we can do is wait for the next update. But I think I'm going to share this with Blackview, and I'm going to point out, hey, your software is still, kind of flaky there. Maybe we can work together and get something going with that. So guys, if you are also having that problem with your Intercom app, please get in touch with Blackview, just like I have had. Sophia at blackview.hk. That's SOPHIA at Blackview, BLACKVIEW.HK for Hong Kong. But send them an email and say, look, we got it. Actually, it would be better if you went in through the support channel on the website and then let them tell you to email Sophia. But if you're having that problem, please let them know so that they can see that it's not just one guy who's kind of abrupt with them at times. I was bordering on rude with this lady, I'll be honest, because I don't do well when I have to repeat myself over and over and over to somebody in a support capacity. I think the people in a support role should be able to help you, not just simply inform the related colleague, right? But maybe that's the only person who really understands English at the company. I don't know. Regardless, we're going to see about getting that shared with them, and hopefully we can make some changes. So until next time, thanks for watching, and please let's team up and let Blackview know about this issue. Until next time.